so quick, right? Literally within seconds, that fish, crabs, and stingrays could not get out of the way and get back into the ocean. This area got lifted up, scooped up so quickly, following one of these earthquakes the marine life just could not get out of the way and escape danger.
We'll stay tuned for another news update at the top of the hour and for comprehensive coverage in our midday news and major newscast at 7 p.m. on CNC3.
Trinidad and Tobago. It is the 29th of June. It's Monday. June is almost done. Can you believe it? This morning I figured, let's try something different. I've worked here for like 4 years. I don't think I've ever been down this corridor. I have no business being in, but in life, you had to take a little chances. I want to see if I could do something different. Look at that wicked turn. And that is the fun we have in this morning. And I hope that you took this weekend. I hope you take this week to try something different. Try to do something that you haven't done before. Step outside of your comfort zone and let's start the week with a new vigor and a freshness, because we have a lot to talk about. We have a great show today. I am holding on just for one more day, but we're going to make it very memorable. Let's start the show. We are inside and we are on the chair. We are back to where it's a little bit more comfortable right now. But I didn't mean what I said about wanting to try something different and going out and exploring. I was looking at all of the videos of Cedros or on the southern coast where the earthquake last week seemed to have lifted the coastline. And you think about the destruction that was caused in Venezuela, but you look at the construction that is happening in our shores. And it's really, nature is really a beautiful, crazy thing that you really mean to tell me that this went up so fast that fish and stingray could not get out of the way in time? Like you're seeing all of the bodies of the fish and stingray and crabs and everything. And like, how quickly did that happen? And it's really just wonderful. And I hope that once all of the geologists have gone and done what they have to do and checked out everything and made sure it's safe for all of us, take a drive, check it out. I think where is our sense of exploration and wonder and curiosity about our own country? We think of, I remember when the Piparo volcano erupted in 96, 97, and just within the next couple of months, everybody was taking their children to go and see it. It's a thing that we should do. The vacation is coming up. How many people even know about that beach and that coastline? I've been to Cedros quite a few times, and it never occurred to me to stop and think, what's on the other end of that peninsula? How, if we go around, what is there below? And so I think I'll make a trip sometime, hopefully in this coming weekend, to check it out. There's one thing I feel, if I've seen so much of this beautiful world, I want to see every inch of this little island that we call home. You know, like there are so many people who, they gone to Miami, they gone to New York, and never been to the Carinese swamp. I've never been to, again, Cedros, Caracas. So take a drive, take your kids out, and make sure that when they do go out into the world, wherever they are, they know about their country and they're proud to say where they come from because they have all of these experiences. And vacation time is coming up. I have a friend who is getting ready for vacation with her son, and she has, I swear, 60-something page PDF of all the different things that she wants to do with her son this vacation, and all of the reasons why and how she gets in there and the cultural impact of it. And it's really good to know your country and know who you are. I always say, one of the things that we have done is that we have not taken this pride in our country in that way of God gave us everything we want in this country, every beautiful thing under the sun. All we were required to do was put a parking lot and a gift shop. And for the most part, we said, nah, we cool. We have some of the most amazing, just natural beauty and wonder here. And all we have to do was create the infrastructure around it and train people to just be nice and courteous and welcome guests local and abroad. And again, we said, nah, we cool. We'll just keep doing things the way we always. You know, there's no gift shop in Maracas. If I go to Maracas now and I want to buy a T-shirt that says I went to Maracas, I can't do that. Like, what are we doing? Just the most basic things. Caroni Swamp is probably our best example of taking nature and actually making a proper tourist destination out of it. And the problem with that is, again, no gift shop, barely a parking lot. So really, everything is around us, and we're just not taking advantage of the beauty that we have, and we just infighting about who's yellow and who's red and all of that nonsense. So take a walk outside, as young people say, touch grass, and let's try to just enjoy this wonderful Twin Island Republic that we have here while we still can. All right, let's take a look at our front page. A lot to discuss there. The first time what we're seeing here is strong denial from a government minister about this whole arrest with the Hadids. Roger Alexander would have been talking yesterday and saying, no, it's not political at all. It's, well, not political. But he did this not wonderful job of actually explaining how everything went. I wish if I had planned better, I would have pulled the soundbite. But he tried to explain how the PDOs work, and in his words, it was like, the lawyers on that side talk to the lawyers on my side, and they do all of these things, and then, but yeah, no, it's not political. I don't know if he did a good job of explaining it or a good job of defending it. People will still have their minds made up, but that is the official response so far from the government, that it's not a political witch hunt, as some people believe. How you believe it, well, I believe that up to you. Our job here is to present all sides of the story and let you make up your mind yourself. Also on the front page, Oscar B, rest in peace. Yesterday was supposed to be a benefit concert for him, and it ended up being a memorial concert. Very tragic in the timing, but we, of course, wish our best to his friends, family, anyone who would have worked with him over the years. Quite a legend. And Tobago, well, and Trinidad, well, the Caribbean in general, we mourn his passing, and we send our best to his family. Also, the band launch season is here. The Yuma is usually one that kicks off band launch season. Usually every year I go. This is the first year I didn't go again, old in my old age. They always say that if you don't take a rest, your body will take a rest for you. And I think that's what happened to me this weekend. I was like, yeah, just gonna sit down and just 5 minutes. And 5 minutes turned into 3 a.m. I was still asleep on the couch. But it looks like everybody had a great time at Yuma band launch. Last year when I was there, I stood next to Barry Padarath and some of that crew. And there was this huge welcome for them. The DJ was like, big up Barry and the UNC, and people were walking past and taking pictures with them. I wonder if they had that same reception 1 year later. A week is a lifetime in politics. Maybe a year is a generation. Who knows? Did they get that same sort of, if people saw them now in a Yuma band launch, are they still going to, the DJ is going to big them up and say, yes, when UNC, when everybody, how do they react to that 1 year later? Let's check out the back page. You know what I always say about the back page? It's where we have our triumphs, and usually the caveat to that is unless we're talking about the West Indies. But not today. Today we have West Indies triumph over Sri Lanka. And Sri Lanka is what, the third, one of the top 3 teams in Test cricket. And look at us winning. So congratulations to West Indies. The problem is, and I always see it on Facebook with all of the diehards, they always get all excited for 5 minutes and then they have to be brought back down to reality in the next couple of games. But we take the wins, we take the happiness, we take the joy where it comes in this life. Let's check out the briefs page as well. That gives you a look at everything that's coming in inside of the Trinidad Guardian. Do we have it? There we go. The St. Kitts Music Festival was last week into this weekend. I see Voice was there. I think I did see an announcement of Voice being a father again. Let me not say anything before I get in trouble, but I think I saw an announcement. So I think there's congratulations going out to Voice. So there was, I think our team of Brent Pinero and Crystal James were in St. Kitts for this festival. So great stuff there all around. We do have a pretty positive Monday morning happening here on the show. So much to talk about, and I hope you stick around with us for the next 2 hours or as much as you can until you have to head off to the office. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Looking for the ultimate gaming experience? Welcome to Phase 22 Gaming Lounge, where gamers of all ages come to play, compete, and have fun. Dive into your favorite games on PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, or race on our high-tech racing rigs. And experience the thrill of VR with PlayStation and Meta Quest. Our lounge is safe, comfortable, and perfect for everyone. When you're done, check out the latest gaming systems, accessories, and even Samsung and Apple phones. Visit us on the 2nd floor of Gulf City Mall or call 786-2404 to book your gaming session today. Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488 or visit our website to order.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry, premier insurance coverage for less.
Blessing, blessing, blessing everyone. I am Apostle Dr. Benny King with my wife, Reverend Stella King, inviting you to join us every Wednesday at 5:30 a.m. and to 6 a.m. on CNC3, and expect a wonderful change experience as we pray for you and your family and the nation.
Yes, join us on Joy Prayer Network, because the Word of God says we should pray without ceasing. Pray without ceasing, because your miracle is just around the corner.
Step into ABC Doors and Windows, where quality meets variety. Discover premium wooden, steel panel, fiberglass, and steel security doors alongside aluminum, UPVC, and steel windows designed for strength and durability. At ABC, we're always a better choice, delivering products built to last and service you can rely on. Visit our showroom at 1 Chanka Trace, El Socorro South, or call 638-7184 to make your dream home a reality.
Panadol's new formula, 5 times faster than other paracetamol brands. There's no time to waste during special moments. When I need fast pain relief, I choose Panadol Rapid. With its new formula and exclusive technology, it's 5 times faster than other paracetamol, giving me effective pain relief. And it's also gentle on my stomach, because my greatest gift is giving them special moments.
Heart disease is the #1 cause of death in Trinidad and Tobago, driven by 2 silent threats, diabetes and high cholesterol. But now there's a powerful ally, introducing Berberine Plus by Asia Nutrition, clinically proven to stabilize blood sugar and keep cholesterol levels in check. With 99.9% pure extract, you get superior absorption and real results. Available now at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Berberine Plus. Your heart deserves better.
Surfside Pool and Leisure is the exclusive distributor of Hayward Pool products in Trinidad and Tobago. We stock industry-leading pumps, high-performance filters, pool chemicals, and sanitizers to keep your pool performing at its best. When it's time to relax, explore our range of floats, loungers, toys, and pool accessories designed for the perfect backyard experience. Visit us 150 Boundary Road, San Juan, 78 SS Aaron Road, San Fernando. Top brands, expert advice, trusted service. Call 235-7665.
All right, welcome back. It is Monday morning, and of course, Sarud Ramkilawan joins us now for the Boss Report. Good morning, Sarud.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to the Boss Report. Well, today we're taking a look at some first quarter results of the Anson McCall Group for both the parent company as well as Anson Merchant Bank Limited. Now, both groups would have reported some fairly weaker results over the comparable first quarters of 26 versus 25. Let's take a look at what those groups would have reported and what investors might expect in the coming months ahead. Turning firstly to the parent company, Anson McCall, for that first quarter of 2026. Total earnings per share was reported at 30 cents, which was a 3.2% decrease from that 31 cents reported in the prior comparable period of the first quarter of 2025. However, earnings from continuing operations did increase a very impressive 15.4% from 26 cents in that prior comparable quarter to that 30 cents. Of course, that the difference or the variation attributable to some non-recurring gains which would have taken place in that first quarter of 2025, no longer recurring in 2026. Now, revenues were up just about 5.7% from 1.75 billion to just about 1.85 billion. Operating profits, however, are fairly flat at around that $136 to $137 million mark. Finance costs, however, would have decreased fairly significantly, at 15% lower at 43.6 million versus 51 million in the prior comparable quarter. Ultimately, a profit before tax from continuing operations up 7.3% from 98 million to $105 million in that first quarter of 2026. When we take a look at AMCL's profit before tax contribution by segment, we can see that there were some notable changes. Media services, retail, and parent company in that Brew segment, that loss would have narrowed in the first quarter from 47 million to the most recent $31 million loss. There was a roughly 18% improvement in profit before tax or PBT from the construction, manufacturing, packaging, and brewing segment. That's a mouthful, from 79 million to 93 million over those comparable first quarters. This was accompanied by offset by a decline of roughly 28% in that auto trading and distribution segment from 40 to 29 million, roughly 28% as mentioned. Banking and insurance down around 46% from 26 million in that yellowish segment to 14 million over the comparable quarters. Now, overall, margins for Anson McCall were somewhat mixed. We can see that there was a modest decline in operating profit margin from 7.8% to 7.4% in that purplish segment. Of course, this would have, with the lower interest or finance costs that would have been experienced, we saw improvement in profit before tax margin from 5.6% to 5.7%. And of course, we expect that to improve in subsequent quarters. So at a price of $47.13, Anson McCall AMCL is trading at a price-to-earnings ratio of 13.5 times, which is above the sector average of 11.6 times. Currently offering investors no dividend yield. Of course, the group, in the pursuit of its 2X strategy, would have suspended temporarily dividends between 2025 to 2027. The group would have recently affirmed or reaffirmed its intention to resume dividends after that period. However, dividend yields for investors right now remains at that 0% level compared to the sector average of 4%. So with revenue growth in mind, those improved core earnings, acquisition and geographical diversification continuing, and of course that temporary suspension of dividends playing on the mind of investors, Boss is maintaining its market weight rating on AMCL for the time being with a stable outlook. Turning very quickly to Anson Merchant Bank. Well, for its first quarter, of 2026, the group would have reported an earnings per share figure of 9 cents, which was a 69% decline from the 29 cents per share recorded in the prior comparable period of 2025. Net operating incomes declined 4.5% from 114 million to just about 109 million. Total expenses, however, did increase 8.1% from 89 million to just about 96.4 million. Operating profits ultimately decreasing that 49.5% from just about $25 million to $12.5 million in that first quarter of 2026. Profit attributable to equity holders down at 69% from 24.6 million to just about $7.5 million. Now, when we take a look at Ansem Merchants PBT by segment contribution before eliminations, well, it has traditionally been somewhat of a choppy first quarter story for AMBL. Given that market volatility does play a fairly significant role in terms of the impact on overall financial reporting or results from financial reporting. And we can see that playing out in the first quarter of 2026, banking and wealth management increasing just about 240% from $4.6 million in that first quarter of 2025 to 17.2 million. However, this was offset by a swing from a $22 million profit in the first quarter of 2025 for insurance services to a loss of $3 million in that first quarter, as well as mutual funds swinging from a modest profit of $1 million in the first quarter of 2025 to a loss of $4 million in the first quarter of 2026. This was reportedly attributable to a significant mark-to-market volatility and unrealized fair value losses, which would have taken place in the first quarter. The good news is that markets appear to have stabilized, certainly at the international level, as well as there has been some modest improvement at the local level. So we do anticipate some degree of improvement or recovery at the very least in subsequent quarters. On a trailing earnings per share basis for EMBL, despite that somewhat weak first quarter performance, we can see on a trailing 12-month basis that the EMBL trailing earnings per share has improved over subsequent periods. In the prior comparable period, it was just about $1.73. It's now $2.63, and that has resulted in Ansem Merchant Bank's price to earnings ratio on a trailing basis falling to a relatively attractive 10.8 times. So at that price of $20.33, again, the stock is trading at a price to earnings ratio of 10.8 times, which is slightly below the sector average of 11.4 times and offers investors a dividend yield of about 3.5%, which is slightly below that sector average of 4.7%. To EMBL's credit, it has been one of the most predictable stocks in terms of paying out a dividend religiously and at a fairly stable level. So with that low operating income in mind, higher operating and taxation expenses, of course, on the cards as well, and relatively fair valuations, BOS is maintaining its market weight rating on EMBL for the time being with a stable outlook. Well, that's it for this week's edition. For more information, you can give us a call at 2BOS or 226-8773. Email us at info@bosfinancial.com. And of course, you can check out our website, bosinvestment.com, where all of our research is absolutely free. And you can, of course, catch this article in today's business section of the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian newspaper. So until next time, stay safe, happy investing, and we'll see you again on the Boss Report.
Welcome to Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Do enjoy, Stacey. You want some coffee?
Can I have the book?
Perfect then.
That's exactly what we need.
Hey, the pool is this way.
Whatever you're here for, we're here for you. Stay smart at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Chiclesia Limited, the Caribbean's largest manufacturers of plain and printed paper bags, leaders in plastic bags, vermicelli, split piece powder, and greaseproof paper, ideal for doubles, french fries, and sandwiches. Supplying stores nationwide. For quality products, trust Chiclesia Limited, 665-3336. Visit Tire Clinic Marketing, New Truck and OTR Tire Service Center at number 30 and 32 Montrose Main Road, Chabonas. Call today at 665-8973 or 672-3419. Alignment services available. Tire Clinic Marketing, Truck and OTR Service Center. A tire for every need.
Period nights don't have to look like this. Move less, wake up to change. So change for a real night's sleep with Always Overnight. Its 3 times protection system absorbs, locks the fluid, and keeps it away from your skin. For protected nights without leaks. Always.
Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
This is more than just music. This is where you find the best of TNT. This is more than just a vibe. This is where Bollywood gets a twist. This is more than just energy. This is Bhangra and indie pop too. This is the mix. This is the life. Lock on or log on now. Sangeet 106.1 FM. This is authentic East Indian radio. This is us.
Really looking forward to getting out of here. Getting a proper meal. Yeah, a hot date with that gal from Tim Hortons. Duncan.
Hey, I need some help in here. Is he gonna be okay? Just help him. You can't just let him die like this.
Experience the romance, secrets, and drama in Sullivan's Crossing. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. only on CNC3.
All right, Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back. It's just about 6:30 on this beautiful Monday morning. Let's get straight into it. My first guest this morning is former Couva North MP Ramona Ramdial. She's seen the full gamut of the UNC from the inside, from the outside. She has a great article in today's Guardian. You should pick it up and give it a read, where she brings out a lot of receipts. She reminds people of who they are, where they were before, and just reminds them of where they come from and where she comes from. So you'll understand what I'm talking about in a little while. So Ramona Ramdial, thank you very much for being here, and thanks for the article in today's Guardian.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I've been writing for the past 6 years, and it's all been great. It's more from my part to educate persons a little more on our political landscape, how things are done, governance, and from my experiences as a minister and an opposition MP for 10 years.
And I did see that the first person you called out in your article this morning, a lover of breakfast, doubles, coffee, those sorts of things. I know that you spoke about him as someone who frequently is a topic of discussion on his vlog. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised by that. He describes me one way, but yet still he's always in my business.
So it goes in this. Let's get straight into it. You do talk a lot about the story that everybody is talking about with the Hadids. I want you to listen to what Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander would have said yesterday when interviewed by reporters.
Sure.
This is not a political thing. It's not a political thing. I don't know why people think it. And I am somewhat embarrassed by that. Why a person would think such a thing. And let me say again one more time, no government minister cannot instruct anyone to take out a PDO for anybody. It doesn't work like that. And if that's your information, you were highly misled.
All right, double negative aside, no government minister cannot. What do you make of it? This is the government's actually first time responding to it, because a lot of people are pointing out the coincidence that the AG would have said what he said about the 1% in Parliament, and then shortly after we have this. What do you make of all of this?
I want to be quite clear this morning, and it's become as a surprise, but I am agreeing with the minister to a certain extent this morning, because I really don't think it's political, and here's why. There are allegations swirling around that the wife of the businessman is actually the sister to a current sitting minister. So if those allegations are true, or a close relative, if those allegations are true, then it totally clears the way to say, well, okay, it's a political witch hunt at this point in time. For me, that is. And from my experience. So that's one thing put aside. And with respect to the PDO under state of emergency, again, it is really the PDOs are given on the request of the police. So it has to be approved by the minister, but the request comes from the police. So he is right when he talks about the process with respect to that. Yeah.
When you look at, but you do talk about this, and you do say in your column today that you hope that they have all of their ducks in a row, everything lined up properly when it's time to come to the courts. How you think they have it? Do you think everything is as it should be?
All right. So for years we have grappled as a population with respect to confidence in the TTPS and getting the job done. I personally believe, having experience and now in a position of monitoring, that our criminal justice system is broken. It is broken. We had 2 weeks ago the DPP calling for more resources for his office. We had him saying that he needs more state prosecutors. So the process, and then when you look at the prison system and what takes place there, there are persons languishing on remand yard for years and years and years. Cases are not called on time. There's a backlog. So, one would hope that the new CG is doing what he has to do in terms of fixing the criminal justice system. So far, however, I've seen nothing much except that he is more focused on the civil side rather than the criminal side. So, it's our criminal justice system the evidence doesn't show that it works well in Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore, that's why so many people have lost confidence in justice and getting justice. So many victims over the years have lost faith in the system. They've been unable to get justice for their families. And, they end up dying. We just have to look at the Dana Sitahal case to see, which is a perfect example of a criminal justice system that is broken. So yes, we are all, like myself, looking to see if the process goes all the way through. Because sometimes, most times, it's always stymied, or it falls apart at some point, and then they come and they sue the state for millions and millions of dollars, and it's taxpayers' dollars at the end of the day that has to pay these people. So it's really a vicious cycle that we exist when it comes to the criminal justice system.
Right, and the name Dana Sitahal was thrown about in Parliament a couple months ago, just like in that same sort of flippant, well, you do this and I do that, and it's hard to, as much as they say the politics isn't that involved, sometimes it's hard to take it out of it, because you kind of have to wonder, what do they know? What are they not telling us? But we look at the state of this case and the use of PDOs as opposed to proper charging of somebody, let them appear before the court, get bail, and go home. Do you think that the PDO system is being used in the way that it's intended to, especially with this case and maybe some others in the country right now?
Well, it really does give the state full access in terms of detaining persons they suspect of wrongdoing, a matter of national security, etc. It gives the state that protection, the TTPS, that protection to hold people. But when you look at the time span and what needs to be going on behind the scene in terms of charging those persons and the process being engaged in, one has to wonder, because in previous, SOEs before, we have seen persons who were held, just released with no charges. Many of them, and then we had the 2011 scenario during my time when I was in government, where, some of the processes that we would have engaged, well, the TTPS would have engaged in under national security, ended up being a losing situation for the population of Trinidad and Tobago, where millions of dollars had to be paid out after they sued the state for wrongful detention and all of that. So hopefully, I am thinking that this time around, that we learned our lesson from then, and this time around, the lawyers and the Attorney General's office and everybody involved, that the processes are tight this time around, that would not allow the state to be sued thereafter, after this SOE comes to an end.
I know a lot of the legal jargon in this SOE does kind of stop people from being able to just quickly sue the state. There's a little bit of an indemnity in the fine print of this state of emergency. So they covered a bit of their P's and Q's, but any good lawyer could find a loophole to anything. So we wait to see. I'm glad you mentioned the 2011 SOE. You would have been in government around that time. There would have been some similarities, namely this so-called threat against the Prime Minister and the ministers. How do you see the difference between what would have happened then and what's happening now?
Well, again, the process, the persons, the suspects were held, they were brought in, and then, whatever took place in terms of the legal processes was kind of botched up to a certain extent back then. So again, that's why I keep asking and I keep saying, even in my articles, that I hope that the process this time around, it's airtight, and that taxpayers doesn't have to shoulder that burden of responsibility in terms of paying these persons if it comes to when they go to court, that they sue for wrongful detention and all of that. So I'm really hoping that it's done properly this time around.
When you think of a prime minister and threats against a prime minister, I assume anybody in any high office will receive some kind of threat at any given time. Again, you would have been there in 2011, you would have been there now. Do you think that it's fair to have, I guess, the whole country be punished in a sense for it? Last year we had another threat against the Prime Minister. We didn't have an Independence Day parade. And then we keep hearing every time there's a threat, there's a state of emergency. Is that the right way to go about doing it? Like, should the whole country be on lockdown because of the person who has the best security in this country anyway?
Well, you see, that's the thing. I've said in my articles and otherwise that I think the SOE has outlived its usefulness. I don't think that it's the purpose of the SOE is now being served in terms of crime and criminality. We still have a lot of crime taking place. There was a home invasion a couple of days ago where a woman was murdered in her home and all of that. So those serious crimes, home invasions and all of that, it is still happening. And, it's a lot of resources that are needed to really, take care in terms of national security. So I don't support the SOE that we are currently under at this point in time. I can't wait for it to end. But at the same time, the credible sources of intelligence is important. And whoever is the recipient will, in this case, the TTPS, they would have seen that information, or the intelligence would have been guarded, would have been credible enough for them to deem it a national security risk and therefore act on it. So I really can't say, because we haven't been given, detailed information with respect to these persons and what they were plotting and planning. How is it really a national security risk in terms of their connections and how they were going to go about doing this? And so I don't want to say too much, because not much information is out there anyhow.
That works to their advantage, doesn't it? They can hide a lot behind national security, and no matter how much you try to find out, they'll say, well, it's national security. You need to, and there are some levels of it, but then you kind of wonder. You don't want to be the tinfoil hat person, but you do wonder, okay, are you hiding something? Is there more? What do we need to know? And you kind of hope for that level of transparency. You have to trust.
But that's it. Trust the process, they say. So, we're looking at a very prominent family in Trinidad and Tobago. We're looking at, they've always been involved and they're well known and their businesses are well known also. And you're thinking, well, how come? But the intelligence is there. The TTPS is convinced. And therefore, we just need to trust the process and see how this pans out at the end of the day. But again, my major concern would be, please don't let the taxpayer have to bear the brunt of the responsibility of paying for a botched up job or a botched up process at the end of the day.
Well, like you said, the TTPS is convinced. So, like as we've been saying, let's hope that their ducks are in a row. I want to talk to you about the political landscape, of course, more than just the back and forth, the to and fro's. The people of Trinidad and Tobago seem to be on edge, especially in the state of emergency. What can we say? What can't we say? I'm glad that you're doing this interview. There's so many people right now afraid to do that because, oh Lord, they go lock them up. What's the mood on the ground? Are people still talking to you? You're a former MP, so I'm sure you still have people who come and talk to you about things. What are they telling you?
In my line of work now, I'm a businesswoman, so I interact with the public daily. They are very much concerned with the state of the country in terms of the crime situation. They're also concerned about the methods by which the government is using to try to stem the increase in crime and criminality and murders and all of that. Because, again, they are not, most of the population, even in my polls that I run sometimes on social media on my pages, a lot of people are no longer concerned or interested in another SOE to begin with. And then in this SOE, they can't wait for it to be over. But again, it's all about giving the government of the day the benefit of the doubt to try all within their powers to see how best and what best works for the population of Trinidad and Tobago. So I think at the end of this SOE, the government would have to become creative. Probably they may have to strengthen relationships with other agencies in terms of crime fighting initiatives and strategies, deal with the internal issues, but not really come back to a state of emergency, after this one, that is. Because I think the population is fed up and wary, they're SOE wary at this point in time.
It's true, but then I also say that we are such a 9-day wonder that anybody can look at us and be like, what are we going to do about it? And we'll just be like, okay. We've already been told we can't protest here, we can't protest here. The police have shown us, and I laugh, but it's really serious. The police have shown us what happens if you protest. There's a lot of power behind the state if you raise your voice.
It is a different time. It's quite interesting. It's not something that any of us have been through in the past. And that's another thing. It's new to us. So we really don't know how to maneuver. The protesters don't know how to maneuver properly when you have this hard hand coming down on you at the end of the day. It's never been like this in the past. And it also speaks to how society has evolved into being, a little more aggressive, vicious to a certain extent, even the criminals, and therefore you need a hard stance against the criminals at the end of the day. I understand that there's talk about the Zoso bill coming back to Parliament to be debated, and I read that bill and everything. I took in the debates and all of that, and I look at the amendments. Probably there's something there with the new amendments, the 108 amendments that both the opposition and the independent senators put forward, that there is something there that probably we can try after the SOE. But it has to go back to Parliament, and it has to be agreed upon on both sides of the House, because you need a special majority to get that going. So I would hope that our leaders in Parliament are cognizant of these developments at the end of the day.
Agreed. We look back at, I did have a conversation with the Foreign Affairs Minister from Jamaica some time ago, and I was explaining to them some of the things, and they were like, well, yeah, for the most part, you do have most of what we proposed, but that's sunset clause. That's a major thing. The idea of it has to come with social reform as well. A lot of the amendments that were being proposed are actually part of the Jamaican law. So let's hope that there is that level of understanding. But I want to go back to something that you would have said. You talk about the change in the people and how the way things go. What I have found is that there used to be a time where the people typically made fun of the politicians and they were like, politicians come, politicians go. Now you have this sort of, for lack of a better word, cult mentality around politicians. And I find it so interesting that the people seem to be walking in line, in step with these politicians who, let's be real, are they known for being for the people and being truthful? And I just laugh at it and I think of just the way things have been changing. You call yourself a lifelong UNC member in today's article. And people have been looking at the new UNC as basically a cult, for lack of a better word. That word's been thrown around a lot. This sort of devotion to one person, to one leader. Is that what you've been seeing, and what is your role in the party now?
Well, I mean, as I said before, I wouldn't go so far to call it a cult because it exists with all parties. You see it with PNM grassroots, the base. You see it with the UNC grassroots and base. A lot of times when you see comments on social media and you see the 100% support and so on, it's all intentioned and engineered in that way in terms of, you have your supporters, so you send your supporters out to support you. I mean, I've been there, so it's no surprise to me. But I think Trinidadians, Trinbagonians, we're a very educated population. We're very aware. We know what is happening. We are very politically aware at this point in time and at this stage. So from my experiences, people know, they know, but they play. They say politics, all a stage and it's theatrics and all of that. So it's support for parties, support. There's an agenda. Every individual has an agenda at the end of the day. When they link up with a political party, be it what it is they want, something tangible or otherwise, you have, true supporters also at the end of the day. But I think what you're talking about in terms of where we stand, yourself, myself, other persons like us who are aware, much more aware of how it works behind the scenes, is that our role could just be one to educate and inform at any one time. And that's what I've been trying to do for the past 6 years. Whilst not really destabilizing party politics and how it works to a certain extent, but to be aware and to be educated and to make the right choices at the end of the day. But I don't think it's because that they are blind and they don't know and they're blind followers. They know. They all know. But as I said, everybody has an agenda at the end of the day. It's what that individual wants.
And it's that understanding of everybody having an agenda. But I do notice that when you are the kind of neutral person, the kind of person to say, hold on, yeah, I'm a supporter, but hold on, maybe we're going a little too far. That's how you end up on morning show fodder,
Well, yeah, so that's it, towing the line, and but I must tell you, when I was there active, I towed the line. I mean, I had whatever concerns I had, I dealt with it internally, and coming out of it, I said, well, okay, this has to be a role that I can play in terms of educating persons more of our political landscape and reminding them of history, because we tend to repeat a lot of things from our history and from our lineage, our political lineage. We tend to repeat a lot of things. I mean, look at it now. We're talking about the SOE now, and in 2011, the same thing took place. So we need to look and fix certain things, and I really think that both the government and opposition, this is a correct and a right time to change some of the things and how we go about doing business, that we can change that at the end of the day. There are a lot of things that needs to be changed that comes from constitutional reform, as a matter of fact. And I really hope that the Parliament would look at meaningful constitutional reform at the end of the day.
Yeah, there's a party in power now that does have the majority to make constitutional change.
Yes.
The problem is a lot of people, if I ask them, like, you sure this is the party you want making constitutional change? They might be like, I'm not too sure about that. But I am glad that you speak out. A lot of times, and first time I'm talking to you in a long time to tell you this to your face, but I use you as a good example of people who, when they leave the cut and thrust of everyday politics, you realize, hold on, there's a lot of, they knew what was going on behind the scenes. They knew, but I understand the having to toe the line. And I do like that you speak out. And I will say that your column is one that I do read religiously every time it comes up, because I get insights of what used to happen on the inside and what's happening behind the scenes that I don't necessarily know. But are they still treating you well? I hope they're not casting you outside as a dissident, as you know.
No, well, you see, that's it again. For the base, it's about, okay, well, she's one of those. But no, I'm good with a lot of my former colleagues. We chat, and we're okay. We're all right.
That's very important. Ramona Ramdale, I give you the last word. Anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't cover? We covered quite a bit this morning, but I give you the last word.
Sure. Our neighbors in a really bad situation, and I make reference to Venezuela, and I want to urge the public to give as much as they can. I know things are, we're under some pressure here in Trinidad and Tobago also, but whatever you can give, whatever you can donate, please send it in to the regional corporations where we can send aid and help to our neighboring Venezuelan counterparts. They really do need the help. It's a very sad situation out there.
Absolutely, and we do talk about Venezuela later on in the show. Ramona Ramdale, former Couva North MP, thank you very much for joining us. Great discussion. And hope you spend a lot more time on the show, but maybe to check out.
Take care.
Bye-bye. And remember to check out her article in today's Guardian. It's a great paper today. You should always check it out. So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Morning Brew.
Okay, let me see you Cherry Hill. Yeah, now take it back. Let me see you rock off, shake off. Let me see you rock off. Let me see you kick right. Now step forward, now step back.
Lucozade, bring the energy.
Rock off,
unbeatable
rock
taste,
off.
new look.
Shake off. Let me see you rock off. You can make your goals unfold, go get it. You can live your dream, join the team, let's do this. You can get the help you need to succeed with Rand Credit Union. You can believe that you can achieve it. Big goals, small ones too. Rand Credit Union, we've got you. No more waiting, that won't do. Make someday today. One life, so make it good. Live the way you know you should. With Rand Credit Union, yes you could. Make someday today.
Live your best life today with Rand Credit Union.
Get ready for the biggest business-to-business event of the year. The Trade and Investment Convention, July 9th to 11th at the Center of Excellence. Connect with buyers, distributors, and decision makers from around the world. Register today at www.ttma.com/TIC. Dress code in effect for business days with park and ride services available. Trade, invest, connect with the Trade and Investment Convention 2026.
Panadol's new formula, 5 times faster than other paracetamol brands. There's no time to waste during special moments. When I need fast pain relief, I choose Panadol Rapid. With its new formula and exclusive technology, it's 5 times faster than other paracetamol, giving me effective pain relief. And it's also gentle on my stomach. Because my greatest gift is giving them special moments.
Every case has a story. Every clue reveals a new mystery. This July, Suspects returns with 2 thrilling seasons back-to-back, packed with shocking twists, intense investigations, and suspense at every turn. Don't miss the Season 2 premiere of Suspects, Wednesday, July 15th, only on CNC3. Your place for the drama and suspense we love.
All All right, welcome back. Just a few minutes before we take us to the top of the hour. So just, you know how to find us if you want to be part of the Morning Brew, whether you want to be on the show, TMB at cnc3.co.tt. That's our email address where you can send your requests or just tell us how we're doing. Let us know what you think. We're also on social media, all of the platforms. CNC3 News on Instagram, CNC3 News, CNC3 Television on Facebook, and CNC3 TV on X, formerly Twitter. We're also on TikTok. We're just trying to get our TikTok page up and running, so follow us there if you are so inclined. We're also on our mobile app that I promise it works. You can find all of the latest breaking news there, and you can check out, if you subscribe, our Digital Guardian on that page, and I think the stream of this show and the 12 o'clock news and our 7 o'clock news on the app. And of course, the website, guardian.co.tt. That's the bread and butter of everything, every single thing that happens in this country at any point in time. We try to get it up on that site as soon as possible. So if you are so inclined, just go check us out. Let's do our something to think about. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. So it's one of those things where don't expect instant gratification, or somewhere going down in the future, you'll have to hopefully reap the good things that you planted some time ago. All right, let's check out our weather. We're going to have some variable cloud cover with occasional showers. It's going to become more frequent from late morning. There's a medium chance of the isolated thunderstorm activity, gusty winds and street flooding likely to in the event of heavy downpours. Seas are moderate with waves near 2 meters in open waters and 1 meter in sheltered areas. Forecast high 31 degrees Celsius in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm wondering if there's Sahara dust because my eyes have been burning me for the past 2 days, and reading that was a challenge. My eyes are watering already. But if you are susceptible to Sahara dust, just take it easy. You know how it goes. All right, so we are just out of time for this first hours, and we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice car get damaged bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Enroll your child today at CTS College's private primary school. Classes are online and taught by qualified and experienced teachers. Our fun and engaging sessions are recorded for further review. We cover the full range of SEA subjects with preparation for success. Students from first year to Standard 5 are welcome to join. And with our competitive rates and flexible payment plans, it's easy to enroll. Sign up today at CTS College. Every day, your nasal passages are exposed to dryness from dry air, CPAP machines, oxygen therapy, sinusitis, allergies, and the common cold. When the nose becomes dry, breathing doesn't feel comfortable. It feels irritated,
tight, and blocked. Introducing Nasogel Spray, a gentle nasal spray designed to help restore moisture where you need it most. Its hydrating formula helps soothe and relieve dryness inside the nasal passages, supporting more comfortable breathing. Nasogel Spray, so you can breathe better every day. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Parents will do it, they'll go to work, have a day, bro, and come on and take that stress out on you.
Welcome to another episode of Manhood.
Everybody will do what they need to do to get what they want.
And if they can't fit in to the norms, then what do they do? They're surviving.
Not everybody wants to kill me because I might be all kind of thing, but I think I'm a good person.
The aspect of a mentor seeing something in you that you can't see in yourself.
Check yourself, because you shaped that generation.
Are we losing in many ways the values?
Since I have this Parkinson's diagnosis, there's a group, a very small group, type group, who will always look after me.
Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago, as we head into the second hour of our show. It's just 7:03. I hope by now you're either out on the road, if it is that you have to go to work, of course, or if you're here with us for the day, well, welcome. Anybody at home, somebody just asked me when SEA results are coming out. I will have to find out for you, but if you know at home, just give us a shout. I gave you all of the information on our social media pages a short while ago, but it's definitely one of those things we have to keep an eye out on. It's on our calendar. All those young people who are right now nervous about which school uniform they're going to put on come September, so we wish them all the best. Another group of people who are a little bit nervous, the Port of Spain City Corporation workers. We would have spoken to Port of Spain Mayor Chinua Allen a couple of months ago, actually, last time I was here, and he was warning that if the current financial situation continued as it did, the workers would probably not have money up until June. And just last week he said, well, that financial crisis that I warned about is now here. But you know who else is also now here? On the line, Port of Spain Mayor Chinua Allen. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, Kijan, and good morning to all of your viewers on CNC3 The Morning Brew.
All right, thanks a lot for taking our call. I know you're on the move.
Yes.
It is June let me check the date. It's June the 29th. What's the situation looking like for your staff at the corporation?
Well, the situation is not very positive this morning. As I had indicated more than 2 months ago, the local government was heading for a fiscal fiasco. And I really do not take any pleasure in being correct. That fiscal fiasco is now here. We are now in a position where the city does not have sufficient allocation and has not received a check with sufficient money to pay our civil servants for this month, I'm sorry. So we have 446 public servants that are affected. Over 180 of them are city police officers. So we are really calling on the ministry to spare no effort, make all of the necessary steps so that we can make payroll before the day is done.
The minister would have responded, and her response was pretty much the same thing that she said the last time, in terms of, but look, if they're in fets, you're in City Day celebrations, why don't take that money and use it to pay workers? What's your response to that?
Yeah, I think, again, the minister is attempting to misdirect the population. The reality is, as I explained on the last occasion, our budget, the different line items that we have, can only be used for specific purposes. So it is not possible for the city or any other department, ministry, statutory authority to use their salaries line item for anything other than salaries. In any event, there was not enough money available in our salaries line item this month to throw any fete. The fact of the matter is that the budget, the mid-year review took place on the 15th of June. I have had sight of the general warrant that the Ministry of Local Government received on June 26th. That was last Friday. But the general warrant is really only one of several steps in the public finance management process that would allow for a check to be issued. The general warrant is not a check. It is authorization to use public money. And so after the warrant is received, you then have to apply for what is called a release of funds. You make that application to the budget division. After you receive the approval for the release of funds, you then apply to the Treasury for a grant of credit. After you get the grant of credit from the Treasury, only then can you prepare a check against the exchequer. And so we have not received any check to meet our payroll obligations for this month. And we are really calling on the ministry to step up, get the act together, and ensure that we can make our salary commitments at the end of this month.
You haven't received a check, but have you received a commitment?
I'm sorry, could you say that
said
again?
You haven't received a check, but have you received a commitment to either have the check or even the dialogue to get the ball rolling? What is the latest with the communication?
Well, Kijan, here's the difficult bit. At the mid-year review in the Parliament, I know that Mr. Imbert and I believe Mr. Young as well raised the issue of the allocation for Port of Spain. And so what was done in this mid-year review is that rather than allocating money directly to each of the 14 municipalities, the money was allocated in one line item at the Ministry of Local Government, so that the ministry spent the better part of Friday scrambling, calling around all of the corporations, trying to haggle to determine how much allocation each corporation will receive. So they have to do what's called a transfer of funds from the ministry to the corporation. Then an application for a release of funds has to be made. Then an application for a grant of credit. Then a check can be written. And only after the check is deposited can you meet your payroll obligation. So there are several steps that have to be followed, and the ministry really is only at about step 2 or 3.
Wow. And let's talk about these steps. Do these steps have to be done every month now, going forward until the big budget in September, October?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last question.
I said, will all of these steps have to be repeated every month between now and the next budget, the main budget in September or October,
so that a general warrant that is part of the legal process required to authorize a ministry, department, statutory authority, what have you, to spend money. So that it has to be done at least once a year. So in October, after the budget is read, that is the appropriation bill. That bill, once it is passed in both houses, has to go to the president for assent. That is the way that bills become laws. So this is just like any other bill. It has to go to the president for assent, and after it is assented to by the president, it becomes the Appropriation Act. And then the Minister of Finance has to issue a general warrant, which is an instruction to the Comptroller of Accounts at the Treasury that these certain monies can be drawn from the exchequer, from the government's bank account. So that has to be done at least once a year, but every time that there's some sort of supplementary bill, whether it is a mid-year review or, as I suspect is going to have to happen, the Minister of Finance is going to have to do some sort of variation again, because the mid-year review, from what I have seen of the allocation to local government, it is not sufficient for civil servants to be paid their payroll, for the increase in NIS contributions. As you would recall, the NIS contribution rates were increased. That means that the government has to spend more money each month on the employer's portion of the NIS contribution. we need more money for garbage collection. In particular, our garbage collection service in East Port of Spain is at risk of shutting down completely. We do not at this time have enough funding to buy fuel for our trucks. So eventually we're going to have to park up all the trucks because we can't pay the gas station. There are several issues, and not the least of which is that a commitment was made, a full-throated commitment was made in the Parliament by the Minister of Local Government that the workers, the daily rated workers in the Port of Spain Corporation, who are represented by the Amalgamated Workers Union, that they would receive their wage increase and back pay.
Right.
From the submission that I have seen, I cannot see how all of those priorities can be met. And it means now that my question is, when will the daily rated workers in the corporation receive their back pay and their wage increase?
And let me just ask you, you're talking about workers and workers not being paid. Are we looking at, well, let me first ask, when you show up to work today, I assume you're going into the office now, what are people telling you? I'm sure, I know Trinidadians, they're watching you and telling you, I sure your money's safe, I sure you gain your money. How do you respond to that? Well, if that is the mood, how are you responding to it?
Well, Kijan, it's a very difficult situation, as you can imagine, because we work very closely with all of our members of staff and our workers on a daily basis. And we continue to try to motivate them to do more with less. But I fear that you can't do anything with nothing. At the very least, when the month is finished, people expect that they'll get their salary on time and that the pay will come correct. People are already experiencing challenges with their own personal commitments. They may have a car loan that they have to pay and they have a standing order for that. They may have a mortgage that they have to pay or a loan from the credit union. They may have maintenance payments that they have to make, and they have standing orders for that. When a man misses his maintenance payments because his salary came late, nobody's interested in hearing blame the government.
Yeah, right.
No one's interested in that. And so these are real people that are directly, personally affected by the fiscal mismanagement that we are presently seeing. This fiscal fiasco needs to be addressed immediately before irreparable damage is done to people's personal lives.
Yeah, and I want to say that there are people who might think that they don't have, this doesn't affect them in any way, but anybody who walks through the capital can see that, Chinua, I'm not going to lie to you, it's nasty. We're not looking like a capital city in one of the richest Caribbean nations at all. And I'm hoping that something can be done there as well. But just for the people at home, if you're wondering what the impact of this is, well, it's that. Just look around town. I mean, even by town standards, it's a little dirty.
Yeah, well, some of these civil servants are the same ones that we depend on to manage and supervise all of our civil works, our maintenance works, our sanitation works. They are the ones that have to come out and do all of the management and supervision. If people haven't been paid, what do we expect them to do?
Exactly. So when you go to work today, I mean, what is left in your arsenal as mayor of a corporation that's not government, the current UNC party, that essentially you're in opposition. You're on the back foot already. What else is left in your arsenal to do?
Well, we have to continue to be unafraid to speak up. We have to continue to be unafraid to advocate on behalf of all of our stakeholders. Now, we are directly responsible to the burgesses, but our, whether they are civil servants or they are daily-rated employees, they are part of our internal stakeholders, and we are responsible for them as well. And so I came on your program just over 2 months ago to speak up on their behalf. I am on your program again today to speak up on behalf, in this immediate instance, on behalf of our civil servants, the members of the administration, who expected to receive their salary on Friday. Today is Monday, and they have not yet received their salary. And if we do not receive the allocation today, and we do not receive a check today, then we will not be in a position to process payroll today. It is only about 7:15. We still have the whole workday for the Minister of Local Government to call her colleague in the Ministry of Finance, because I believe in order to make all of this happen today, it requires the direct personal intervention of the Minister of Finance. The Minister of Local Government cannot, for example, cause an instruction to be issued to the Controller of Accounts. Only the Minister of Finance could cause that to happen. So we need all of these members of the government to come together to address this issue so that our civil servants can receive their salary, hopefully before the day is done, but at the very least before the month is finished. And the month is finishing tomorrow.
Yeah. Chinua Allen, thank you very much. Mayor of Port of Spain joining us there with a very serious situation. Politics aside, I don't care who you vote for, left, right, black, yellow, green, whatever. At the end of the day, when you go to work and you put in an honest month's work, you want your money, you want that salary in the bank. And we hope that that situation can be resolved. Chinua, thank you very much for being here.
And thank you so much again, Kilian, and good morning again to all of your viewers.
All right, so you heard that message, and we hope that somebody from the government side is listening. And they're always welcome on the show to sit on the chair or take a call or a Zoom, whatever you want, to come and give your side. Let's not have this back and forth of who don't like who and who not going to talk to who. The people of the country want to hear from you. They want to have the understanding of what the plans are in terms of governance for the country, and we are always open. We are always willing to have you guys here on the show. All right, we're going to take a break. We have a lot more coming up. Let's tell you what's coming up next. We join Yesenia Gonzalez. She tells us what's the latest in Venezuela and how you here in Trinidad and Tobago can help. Stay with us.
Life. What a wonderful journey we're on. Each stage is unique. And at Tata Life, we not only understand, but also appreciate that you'll have different needs at different times. So trust us to protect you and yours with our comprehensive range of financial planning solutions to ensure that you never, ever have to worry. To learn more, contact a Tata Life advisor or visit tatalife.co.tt today. For the many stages of your life, Tata Life, a member of the Answer McCall Group.
Panadol's new formula, 5 times faster than other paracetamol brands. There's no time to waste during special moments. When I need fast pain relief, I choose Panadol Rapid. With its new formula and exclusive technology, it's 5 times faster than other paracetamol, giving me effective pain relief. And it's also gentle on my stomach. Because my greatest gift is giving them special moments.
Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2, Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
Welcome back. We continue to follow the tragedy in Venezuela following last Wednesday's earthquake. We're joined now by Yesenia Gonzalez. You know her. She's our activist for the Venezuelan people here and now the people of Venezuela. Yesenia Gonzalez, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Yes, I hear you.
And hi, thanks for joining us. And the question I did ask you during the break, and I'm hoping that you could tell the people, your people, I know you have family, friends over on that side. Have you been able to check in with them and see how they're doing?
I'm not hearing you properly.
Let's try this one more time. I'm just asking.
I don't know what is wrong.
You want to just try this one more time? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I had the speaker, but I still hearing you a little distance. Let me hear you again, please.
All right, we're going to ask, how are your people, are your immediate friends or family in Venezuela okay? Have you been able to get in contact with them?
Yeah, well, my family, my sister and my uncles who live in there now, the majority of them left before this migration, and they live in different countries in Italy and so on. And well, some of my friends, I really can't get in contact with them. And my worker, some of the family, they lost the whole family. Wow. So it's very sad, you know. And I mean, to hear every day you will get a call, and it's somebody you know, somebody connected to that person or that person. It is very, very, very sad. I think every day I cry, and looking at the news, looking at all those videos, it's very, very sad. It's horrible right now in Venezuela. And I think it will get worse. I get a feeling that it will get worse, so that's why we're asking to pray for Venezuela, because it is very bad there. It's terrible. And then we have this government, Delcy Rodriguez, who she is dictating everything. I mean, in this time, restraining the people from not getting the food. I telling you, I mean, we hate them criminals, negligence. This man, I hardly hear him in the news in Trinidad, but I think he is the worst. He's just like Maduro. That is Diosdado Cabello. And they'll see the two of them, they're just killing the country right now. So we're asking to resign. If you see all the videos, people are very unhappy because people who trying to go and get to the family, they stopping them, they telling them they have to go somewhere to get into some stupid list, and they controlling. They want to control everything, and I believe basically they want to control everything. But when to resell the food or whatever, you know, they're very evil people.
But when you look at the international response,
they are incompetent, right? And there is a repression. It's hate them for all the grief and betrayal. You understand? And people in Venezuela hate them now. We ask them to resign because they stop from getting close to the family who need. They're controlling everything.
Ms. Gonzalez, but when you look at the international response, have the troops, from the people you talk to, are they on the ground? I know the U.S. has a massive commitment. Barbados has sent some soldiers for search and rescue. Are the international forces helping to counter what you are describing, which might be suppression by the Venezuelan government?
Correct, yes. The United States of America, they have really, really, really amazing help. A lot of I can't describe with words how grateful we are for all those countries, for all these organizations, for all the social media who are listening out the message, and we're really grateful for Trinidad and Tobago, for Barbados, for the Caribbean island, all who are sending out food, because it's never enough. It is a tragedy. It's a humanitarian crisis right now. People will think 100,000 people will get fed. Not 100,000, sorry. I think it's about 3,000 people who survive, right? And that we know about, because we suspect that they have people living on the ground right now. Yeah. But the government stopped stop all these young people who they work so hard. They use their hand without glove. They use a hammer, and they just dig in the ground to trying to get children, animals, people. If you see the video, it's really it's like a nightmare. Yeah. It's like a movie, you know. And that none of them ever send any help. It's after, I think, 10 hours when she called a state and emergency, Delcy Rodriguez, right? That's why we want to ask social media that we want her to resign and to go, because these people are criminal, negligent. They have been killing this country slowly.
Right.
They destroy Venezuela. Now this massive we don't know what could have happened again, because I mean the body smell. There is a lot of fly, and it's a terrible crisis.
One of the things that and you're right, and what I think of, we think of the 2018 humanitarian crisis, which had nothing to do with a disaster. It was one of the biggest migrations ever without having some sort of war or disaster. And now there is actually this. Are you hearing that people are once again looking to flee Venezuela to their neighboring countries, whether us or Colombia on the other side, Guyana maybe?
Well, I always admire President of El Salvador. There is right now so many things in my mind, but the President of Salvador asking all the Venezuelans to come to Salvador, and he will give them houses and everything until eventually they will be able to move on. So that in that part, I mean, I admire that president. I wish if we could get leaders in Trinidad like him. I mean, I think he's the only one in the world right now that will really, truly, he cares for the people, and he is for the people.
When you think of the relationship that our government has had with Delcy Rodriguez, do you think you realize she's been saying thank you to just about everybody except us? Do you think the last couple months of tension between Trinidad, Port of Spain, and Caracas, you think that's all going to kind of dissolve a little bit, and the humanitarian side might come together, and these two leaders will sit down and talk now?
We don't want her to even talk. We just want her to resign. She is a criminal. I believe that she has been killing people in Venezuela with this negligence, because people I would believe that people are still inside those buildings, they're still alive, and she stopped all the rescue team of the Venezuelan student who was trying without gloves, and she didn't spend no even equipment to trying to find these people, So it's a sad situation. So we don't even want to hear whether she's going to negotiate. We just do not want Diosdado Cabello, which people in Venezuela hate him. He's the worst criminal ever. As a matter of fact, America have something in hand. I think it's something like about, I don't know how many millions of dollars to anybody.
Ms. Gonzalez, if people
to their hands,
if the people of Trinidad and Tobago wanted to help, how do you think they can help right now, the people of Venezuela?
Help with food, things for children, medication. That is the help that we need right now, that they need right now. Children, needles, cotton, and all those things, that they need for injury, medication and food, basically medication and food. Trinidad right now, the Venezuelan community, thanks for the Venezuelan community, they are getting together, they're sending out clothes. Yesterday, busy trying to put things together. I actually, pleading for the people who could afford or who could at least have anything they could send because it's never enough. It's not only what happened in the earthquake, but what affects the whole country in a humanitarian crisis. because some of them give this one, that one gives that one gives that one, and it is a disaster. It is a total disaster right now. The people look at the earthquake, yes, but the effect of that earthquake, we're expecting a pandemic coming in. We're expecting that things will just get worse because this government has not done anything. This woman, Delcy Rodriguez, she has been keeping very silent, and now we saw a video yesterday where she said, we rescue people and we helping people and we get things for the people. She is a big liar. They have not done anything.
And we understand that in this life. Yeah, we understand how it goes in a lot of these crises. There's the initial impact, and then there's the residual impact, and we can look at this could be going on for a long time. When you talk to the people on the ground, how bad is the infrastructure at all? Are people able to drive cars on roads to get to some of these people who need help? Are they telling you what the situation? I know we were able to fly some people out. Are the supplies able? Are the ports working? What are they telling you in terms of the infrastructure to help those people? Whether or not what happens with it with regard to the government and all of that? Are things even able to get in at this time?
Well, you mean Trinidad and Tobago government?
Sorry, say that again?
Trinidad and Tobago government sending out things to Venezuela, you mean?
No, I'm saying, yeah, and is it able to reach? Is it even physically able to get there in terms of the infrastructure of Venezuela? Roads, airports, ports?
No, that right now that I really not sure about that. You know, I'm not really not sure. All I know is that Trinidad and the government, the Prime Minister Camila Vicesa, which we are very grateful for her help and the help for the people in Trinidad, and really sending out its food and things like that. But I am not really aware of other things as well. And maybe I can't say, but I know Venezuela is a total disaster. Roads are very bad. The houses was built with no kind of structure, terrible, because this government for 27 years, they have been rob Venezuela. I never see in my life to see such evil people like those. They are so terrible, because even Diosdado Cabello, which is the man that we hate him because he's evil. He have destroyed Venezuela, he and Delcy Rodriguez, right? He, imagine when he went to speak to the people in Venezuela, they have this kind of dictatorship kind of thing. You all can't come here. I mean, what you hate the people for, what the people have done to you, they rob Venezuela. They did all, they kill people in Venezuela by taking them to starvation, lack of medication, not hospital, right? And they have everything. Venezuela is a rich country, and then yet, you know, they have that hate for the Venezuelan people. They don't care whatever who die in that disaster. They don't care about the children. They don't care about the animals. They only care for themselves. And let me tell you something. This is the news I hear in Venezuela.
All right, thank you, Zina Gonzalez. Thank you very much. We appreciate your passion and your understanding of what's happening on the ground in Venezuela at this time. And if you can help, as she said, you're right. Baby supplies, food, clothing, anything you can do to help, you should do so. And within your ability, I know everybody is going through their own struggles right now. But if you can help, please do, and ensure that you're doing so at legitimate outlets. I know a lot of people are looking to take advantage. You know, they say never let a good tragedy go to waste. A lot of people take that to their advantage. So make sure that anywhere you go is legitimate. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. We have a lot more TMB. We're talking the Trade and Investment Convention, the TIC. It's coming up next.
Lucozade, bring the energy. Unbeatable taste, new look.
At Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center, we're all about time. In fact, once you check in, there's no time to lose. Reconnect with a little family time. Make a splash with some pool time. Spend some treasured quality time. Or just immerse yourself in some quiet time. Indulge your senses at dinner time. We even have the perfect venue when it's your celebration time. So it's high time you visit Cruise Inn. Choose our day pass or call 607-4000 to make your dinner or hotel reservations or to find out more about our event spaces. Take a time out at Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center.
We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance, but we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza, Endeavour, Chaguanas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon.
In the ever-changing media landscape, we at Guardian Media strive always to put you, our viewers and readers, first.
We strive to uphold the time-honored tenets of responsible journalism.
For us, accuracy is key.
And in our reporting, we strive not only to be first, but fair,
impartial,
and to uphold journalistic integrity.
Above all, we are accountable to you, and we must respect the views of our audience. That is our solemn contract with you.
Keen attention to detail,
rigorous verification of facts.
Keep track of our editorial policies and guidelines, including our corrections policy, by logging on to www.guardian.co.tt for more.
Yes, you know we're already struggling and now you want to add to our problems too?
Of course you're back here.
Ma'am, please, I hope
you listen to me. I know that for someone like you, it must be a whole lot of fun to go out and get drunk. I'll ask you this one time, that if you can't respect your daughters or care enough to avoid doing things to get yourself arrested, then at least have the basic decency not to get Alejandra involved in your reckless behavior.
Don't miss the gripping drama Cabo. Sundays at 8 p.m. only on CNC3.
For me, people matter most. It's the same if you hail from Moruga, where I'm from, Mount Irvin, Scarborough, or Port of Spain. As a journalist, I'm focused on building that connection between Trinidad, the region, and the world. Most importantly, I want always to use my voice as a powerful weapon to break down barriers wherever they exist. This is why we are where you are.
All right, welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. It's just about 20 to 8. Thanks for sticking with us so far. And if you are just joining us, you missed a lot, but there's a lot more to come. And in my role, my substantive role, when I'm not here filling in for Jason, I am an assignment editor. And one of the assignments that pops up every year and you look forward to and you make sure that we have down on the calendar is the Trade and Investment Conference. And this is its 27th year, and I don't even know how many of them in Center of Excellence, but we were discussing during the break that it's one of the few places that can hold as many people as is necessary, because this is a big deal. So to talk to us about this year's Trade and Investment Conference, we have Ismail Ali. He's a trade officer at the TTMA, and Jolene Goodwin. She's the company director at NATCO. So welcome to both of you, and thanks. I usually do ladies first, but Mr. Ali, we'll start with you today, as I know the TTMA is really one of the major players in TIC. What can people look forward to this year?
Good morning. What we can look forward to this year is a
big a show. As we were speaking about in the break, we have over 400 companies, 400 booths exhibiting this year. It's us taking the companies, the exhibitors to a different level, giving them that exposure, giving them that platform to be able to show not just the local market, but the regional market, what they can be able to produce.
And how has it been over I mean, it keeps happening. So clearly there's been some sort of success. Yeah. What do you think? What is it that keeps people coming to this trade and investment conference every year?
It's our 27th year. It's our 27th year of putting a show of this magnitude. It's one of the largest in the English-speaking Caribbean. Our companies, both local and regional, look at this show to be able to attract new buyers, to attract new investors. Just on our 25th anniversary, 2 years ago, we would have reached the 1 billion mark, which shows the success, shows that companies, investors, sponsors are, looking at the show to be able to showcase not just Trying to Tobago companies, but also regional companies.
And I think when you think about this world of social media and everything so disconnected, it's still good to reach out and touch someone and talk to someone face to face. And I think that's one of the big selling points of any conference like that. So that's what I wanted to get Ms. Goodwin in on this. Tell me about your role in this year, and why do you think it's important for companies to show up at this trade and investment conference?
So NATCO, we've been around for 70 years. We have taken part in TIC a couple of times. Sure. And it's really a great way for you to showcase your business, not only just with meeting customers and possible end users, but other businesses within this region. As Ish said, this is about connectivity. It's not just about, okay, I'm here, this is my product, come and buy it. It's really like, this is my business, what's your business about? And it's making that connection between different liked businesses that can work together to make this whole local regional economy a better thing.
And that's it, because you never realize, you never know what you know until you start to talk to people and you get to meet everyone around you, right?
Yeah, the most exciting part for me about TIC is walking around. Yeah. What's this business doing? Oh, wow, they're innovating this way. That's really cool. Let me try to meet this person to see what else they're doing and see what other connections we can make. Yes, the end users are important too, because we want the person to tell us, no, this is not looking good. We don't like it. Fix it for next year. And that's really important. But the other aspect, that business-to-business connection, is really great. I love TIC for that.
Yeah, we hear a lot about it. Ms. Talia, you look like you wanted to chime in with something.
No, just rightly, as Jolene indicated, that face-to-face interactions and walking around and seeing what is out there. We've seen so many innovations, the small companies, even to the larger companies. So every year are looking to up the game. And this is the platform, this is the avenue for them to do just that.
All right, so letting people know, 9th to the 11th of July, so it's coming up soon. I'm guessing by now everybody who's supposed to be there have their ducks in a row and they're there, right? But I know they have people last minute trying to rush it.
Yeah. So the exhibitors are basically much in place, and right now, the buyers, getting the persons registered. So the show is on the 9th and the 10th, which is basically our formal business days. So all now you can register for free on our website, ttms.tic.com. And you can be able to access the entire floor plan, look at who's going to be exhibiting on the day. And then on the day itself, you can be able to have, we have some seminars on the Thursday and the Friday for free entry for those events. And as well as for the exhibitors, we have the B2B component, which is basically what, companies are looking to do.
Right.
That core idea of, setting up face-to-face interactions with possible distributors.
And I understand that, and there are some speeches, and the minister will come and cut ribbon and all of that. So that's where we come from. we'll get that part, but the rest of y'all, I understand that. You see that B2B. If you spend 5 minutes on LinkedIn, is 85 posts with B2B, business to business, the most important thing. When you think about the future of your business and where it's going, how you're feeling okay that everybody keeps worried? Everybody seems to be worried about the future. Do you share that same sentiment?
No, I'm really excited. We're not going to lie, we can't sugarcoat life. This is a trying time. Yeah. Right now, the world is doing all what it's doing, and we as businesses have to figure out how do we maneuver this. As a new persons enter the workforce, as we get more Gen Zs coming in who are like, nah, I don't want to do that. Yeah. We have to find ways to make it make sense for them, and that is both as an employer, but also as a provider. For us, when it comes to safety, it means that we have to keep changing things to make it relevant still in today's economy, today's environment. All those things really, really matter. But I want to touch back because, as he mentioned seminars, they have to give a little plug because we are also doing a seminar.
I know I was going to ask you if you talking. She's sounding like she's going to be on our panels.
We are doing a seminar as part of our collaboration. We have a couple of partners. Cipriani Labor College is one of them, optometrist today. So all three of us are coming together to do a seminar on trying to educate persons about safety within this new social hazards, working from home, dealing with mental challenges in this day and age.
Yes, it's not the industrial things falling on you anymore.
No, it really isn't. Yeah. We've changed so much. The mental aspect, the mental hazards that you have at work today really impacts your physical hazards. And we really want to showcase what that connection is and how to work against it because it's still there, you know? So how do you prevent it?
Yeah, times are changing.
Yeah. You have to change with it.
Even if it's getting worse, they change. But we have to fix it.
Yes.
I love that. So we have 417 booths, 10 different countries. Who are the 10 different countries coming?
So we have companies representing countries from Cuba, we have Jamaica, we have Guyana, we have also India as well, to name a few, who are exhibiting. We have some buyers coming in from Jamaica and Grenada as well, that will take part in the B2B component of it. But the exhibitors, over the last couple of years, we've had the ones that keep coming every single year, and as I mentioned, they look to bring their new innovations every single year.
I love that, all the way from India, and Cuba is having some trying times, and the fact that they can make it, you all have no excuse at all. You all can come out here and share. So I'll let you get the final word. Let people know where they can find more information, and anybody who wants to jump on last minute, because Trinidadians like last minute. How they could jump in.
So as I mentioned before, free registration at this time, all the way up to Wednesday the 8th, where we'll be closing registration for buyers and consumers. Thursday and Friday is for B2Bs and buyers, and the Saturday is open to the public for consumers. If you miss the registration on Wednesday the 8th, you can be able to pay at the door, which is a fee of $50, which gives you full entry and full access to the entire show.
All right, sounds really good. So remember, it's happening from the 9th to the 11th at the Center of Excellence. Some of the sponsors, the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Exim Bank, and the Balroop Group. So the theme, One Vision, Global Connection, and as we said, 10 countries are going to be there. So thank you very much to our guests, and we will see you, because we are there on opening day every single year, so we will be there with you. And I hope you will stay with us as we take yet another break. We are going to take you all the way up to the 8 o'clock hour. We're talking International Day of Cooperatives coming up next.
Panadol's new formula, 5 times faster than other paracetamol brands. There's no time to waste during special moments. When I need fast pain relief, I choose Panadol Rapid. With its new formula and exclusive technology, it's 5 times faster than other paracetamol, giving me effective pain relief. And it's also gentle on my stomach. Because my greatest gift is giving them special moments.
The Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ, teaching the truth about God's people, God's plans, and the secrets of God, all written within the pages of the Holy Bible, which is the Word of God. Watch The Hidden Truth every Thursday at 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. on CNC3.
As parents and teachers, we came together to establish the National Council of Parent-Teacher Association because we firmly believe that there is greater strength in unity. Today, our schools face real challenges: bullying, violence, and fear. No parent should send a child to school and wonder if they will be safe. No teacher should walk into a classroom afraid of losing control. That's why we welcome the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service into our schools. They bring expertise, they bring skill, and most importantly, they bring the reassurance that learning can happen in peace. We believe in unity. Now we are stronger. We are on board with the police.
The School-Oriented Policing Initiative, securing our schools, securing our future.
Already struggling and now you want to add to our problems too?
Of course you're back here.
Ma'am, please, I hope
you listen to me. I know that for someone like you, it must be a whole lot of fun to go out and get drunk. I'll ask you this one time, that if you can't respect your daughters or care enough to avoid doing things to get yourself arrested, then at least have the basic decency not to get Alejandra involved in your reckless behavior.
Don't miss the gripping drama Cabo. Sundays at 8 p.m. only on CNC3.
Calling all filmmakers, producers, content creators, influencers, and recording artists. If you're looking to rent a versatile studio space with green screen, video wall, cyclorama, and more, look no further. GM Labs is here to make your dreams a reality. Located in the heart of Port of Spain on St. Vincent Street, GM Labs is your one-stop shop for all your creative needs with over 2,800 square feet to work with. Take your creative concept to the final product at GM Labs. Give us a call or WhatsApp or message us on our Instagram and Facebook pages at GM Labs TT.
Welcome back. We have a very businessy Monday morning today. We're all about business. We were doing trade and investment just a short while ago, and now we're talking cooperatives. July 4th is the International Day of Cooperatives, and to talk about it with us, we have Denisha Jennings. She's the Business Development Officer, the Cooperative Development Division, and Lisa Dewberry, who is the Cooperative Officer. So welcome, ladies, and thanks for joining us. So my understanding, in the very simplest term, a cooperative is a business run by people for people. It's not one of those major conglomerate sort of things. It's sort of kind of grassrootsy. Did I get it right?
Yes. Well, a cooperative is a type of business model where persons come together, united voluntarily for a specific purpose or a specific objective. It is democratically controlled as well. The shareholders / members are the owners of the cooperative.
Right. And if I were to think of like one of the most popular ones, which one would come to mind in this country?
Okay, well, first I should mention we have two types of cooperatives. We have financial cooperatives, we have non-financial cooperatives. An example of a financial cooperative, what we're familiar with would be the credit unions. And the non-financial cooperatives would be like the service type cooperatives. We have consumer cooperatives, funeral cooperatives, fishing cooperatives, etc.
So we have a wide gamut. And you may be part of one and you don't even know, but you know, but you don't know the name.
Exactly.
Well,
once you're a member for a credit union, you are part of the cooperative movement.
All right.
Yes.
And the International Day is July 4th. It's coming up. What is it that you hope happens on this day? Is it one of those raise awareness? Are there anything planned? I open the door to you, Denisha.
Okay, so for International Day of Cooperative, what we at the Cooperative Development Division, what we are trying to do is have an expo and health fair where we raise awareness of all the different types of cooperative, like Mr. Dewberry just pointed out to us. We want the cooperatives to connect. We want them all in one space to display their products and their services, as well as we invite the public to come out, interact with the cooperatives, see what cooperatives you might be interested in joining. We also have a health fair, so you can get free screening on the day. We'll have doctors. We plan to also have the educational talk session. So we have a team panel ready to deliver on the theme, because every year there's a theme for International Day of Cooperative. This year is Cooperatives for a Peaceful World. So our panelists will be delivering a speech on that, so you could come out. As well as we end the day in a fun, exciting way. We're going to have the aerobic session. So to end off.
That was going to be my choice. That's our 5K.
Yeah, so we know the 5Ks are very popular, but what we decided, we still want you all to, get that fitness in, so we have the aerobic session taking place to end off the day.
When the theme, I was reading up on it, and it said a peaceful world. How you gather that cooperatives could create a peaceful world?
So this team is not something that we at the division came up with. It's actually an international team. Yeah. So every year they kind of try to focus on global issues such as climate change and how cooperatives could really impact or assist with the different global issues. So I think this year they decided on cooperatives for a peaceful world because they wanted us to really go back to the roots of what a cooperative is and how a cooperative is built as something for us being collective. Yeah. We're all coming together to help each other, hold the hands and walk together. So it's really about us understanding that, a cooperative is built with us being a community and how we empower each other, each one helping one. And that's where the whole idea of peace comes in. And I think the principles of cooperative also speak to that concept of peace, us, cooperation amongst cooperative. We all hand in hand, and that's how, we create that peace for democratic control. That also speaks to us creating peace. We empowering each other with employment. So I think that the team this year, it helps us to go back to the real purpose and the core of what a cooperative is.
You think of if I have something in it for me, if I'm invested in this, I'll treat it better.
Yes.
I want to see it grow. I want it to, as opposed to now, I them thing I'm not trying to.
Because it's like you are the owner, and I think that's something that I love about a cooperative. It's like I am the owner of this entity, so I tend to put more into it.
You have a vested interest in making it successful.
Yes.
And that's it at the end of the day. Lisa, I know you were talking about joining cooperatives, and if people wanted to become more involved or wanted more information, how do they get that information?
Okay, so they can visit any one of our offices, in Trinidad and Tobago. We have offices across the districts of Trinidad and Tobago. We have districts in George, the Caroni district, San Fernando. We have an office in Siparia as well. Our head office is located on St. Vincent Street, Port of Spain.
That's where we are now.
Yes. Our telephone number is 612-9367. So anybody who is interested in, forming a cooperative can contact us. We are there willing, and readily able to assist in forming a cooperative.
And thank you very much. And that takes us to the end of the show. We thank you so much to all our guests who came by. And just a reminder, the International Day of Cooperatives, it's on July 4th. That date might mean something to other people, but here, on Trinidad and Tobago, it's the International Day of Cooperatives, and you be sure to check out the health fair. And thank you so much, Trinidad and Tobago, for putting up with me for the last 2 days. Jason J.W. Williams is back from tomorrow, so thank you, everybody. Thank you for the studio crew and everybody else who has tuned in today, and I will see you, next time. Bye-bye.